If you are not yet a member of the Patreon, link is in the description. Please consider becoming a member, as you will have access to many videos you cannot find here on YouTube. Also, if you are interested in how the U.S. government is funding illegal immigration using our U.S. taxpayer dollars, then check out my last video because it was heavily censored and shadow banned by YouTube. I even uploaded the video twice and it made no difference at all. So please check that out when you get a chance, because the video would have probably done somewhere around 100 to 150,000 views, just on average what videos like that typically perform on my channel. So check that out when you get a chance. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Didi Got a Podcast, and of course, I'm your host, Didi. Listen, I watched Candace Owens' live yesterday, and as always, I'm going to just give you my honest take. It left me to believe what I've been saying the past 3 months, which is there's a strong chance that this entire event was staged. I'm about 50-50 at this point. 50% I believe that Charlie Kirk staged his own death. Yes, I believe that. I know that that's not what Candace Owens believes. She says that she believes that her friend lost his life. I get it. I know that's what many of you all's position is, but that's not necessarily my position. I am 50% leaning towards the fact that he may have actually lost his life that day. But there are still so many things about what actually happened that day, not the backstory, not people's backstory, not their motives. All of that stuff is important. But I'm talking about things that took place on that day that we're going to cover in this video that still make no sense. And it almost looked like a huge rehearsal. It don't necessarily just look like they set the man up. Too many young people just look like they knew what to do and they were expecting it. Not just Mikey McCoy, but we're going to get to that. I also want to state for the record, there are many other things I want to talk about on this channel, as I'm constantly repeating. But the reason why I'm saying that in this case is because this is almost becoming overwhelming. I know some people have suspected that that's some people's role to make this overwhelming on purpose. I don't know if that's true, but it's overwhelming in the sense that you have maybe 5 to 10 of us that's really super focused in on this on YouTube. And I don't want to become super redundant, because the unattractive truth is that I believe that the truth of all of this is going to come down to some things that we've been saying from the beginning. Some people want new theories to be true or something we haven't uncovered yet. But I believe that we've already covered what may have truly happened that day. But what's going to bring us full circle back to that original theory or hypothesis is after we've covered so many other bases, so that we can knock those things off of the list as possible explanations. So I get it. But it becomes overwhelming when you got all these other people talking about the same things. And I'm like, okay, no, it's just becoming a lot. So let's start off with this tweet here. This tweet here says they would, if Charlie turned heel on Israel, they would have someone pow him at an open air event, and they have some idiot groiper with a genetically anomalous issue there to be the patsy/fall guy. Part of why you never make the deal with the devil in the first place. This guy, Tommy Borum, this tweet is in response to this original tweet right here from Harrison Smith. I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that if Charlie thinks this one place will unalive him if he turns against them. Harrison responds to a video of Ian Carroll saying what I was saying at the same time back in August, which is that Charlie Kirk was ducking smoke with Nick Fuentes, and I stand by that. Well, this guy Tommy responded, and once again, this is August the 13th. This was a month before, and he almost explained exactly what it is that we believe happened to this day. Someone said, what made you say this specifically? And he said the most obvious way to make it a punishable spectacle. So I do want to be fair and show that tweet to say that, hey, look, it's possible that it may have truly happened to the guy, or it's possible that that may have been something that they wanted us to believe. I don't know. But let's go through all the things as to which explain to me how it's clearly staged. But first, let's get some low-hanging fruit out the way. Erika Kirk, surprise, surprise, the woman has been caught in another lie. Candace Owens shared in her live yesterday how when she met with Erika Kirk in person, along with Justin Strife, she asked Erika how she met Tyler Boyer, and this is what she allegedly told Candace.
Now, because I was hyper-fixed on Tyler Boyer, I decided to ask Erika in person during our sit-down how she met Tyler. It was actually, I had 3 questions when I went in there that I wanted to get the answer to. That was actually my number 1 question, because I don't know much about the story of how Tyler met Charlie Kirk. And I now desperately wish that I could remember what Charlie told me about that. How did they get linked up? And I felt that me asking Erika that question, she might be able to provide a lot of insight to who Tyler Boyer was during the time he was with Charlie Kirk, why, maybe even before he was with Charlie Kirk, and why he got involved with Charlie Kirk. And of course, as we know, Erika knew Tyler for years before her and Charlie began dating, right? Both she and Tyler have been honest about that fact, particularly citing Trump's 2015 presidential rally as an event where the two of them attended together, right? Standing behind Donald Trump in Arizona at his 2015 July rally, which I should mention also her mother, Lori Francevy, is in the background. So the three of them have known each other since at least July 2015 publicly. So I asked Erika how she met him. Her answer was that she met him at the 2015 rally because they were both standing behind Trump. And I immediately corrected her. I said, that's not possible. It's not possible because Tyler discussed knowing you already.
Now, as Candace said, this can't be possible. I agree. It's very clear to me because at this rally that Candace talked about, both Tyler and Erika is there, and they actually knew each other before this based on what Tyler Boyer said himself. And we actually broke this story about maybe a month and a half ago here on YouTube. I will be sure to link it in the description and pin it in the comment section. But there's something that Candace actually didn't cover in yesterday's live about this political rally that is extremely important. Because here's Erika Kirk there with her mother, obviously. There's Tyler Boyer, obviously. And these things here are just irrefutable. We can clearly see these people at this event, right? There's another picture of Erika, and there's another picture of this young lady here who may or may not be with Tyler. But there's something that we need to discuss as far as another person that was at this event. The person Erika Kirk is standing beside, right? Because Erika isn't standing beside the guy in the black shirt, or at least she's not only standing beside him, she's also standing next to a little girl. And obviously there's Tyler Boyer there down below. And obviously, as we discussed, once again, I'll link it in the description. As we discussed in my original video when I first broke this story, it was clear to us by the way in which they're interacting with each other throughout this video that there's a strong chance that Erika and this guy, whoever he was probably dating each other, which isn't a bad thing at all because to our understanding, she wasn't with Charlie at this time. But the bigger story here is, who is the little girl that she's with? There's only one of three explanations that I could think of that will best explain who the little girl could be. One, the little girl could be Erika Kirk's daughter. From our understanding, she didn't have children before Charlie. So who's the little girl? The little girl could be the daughter of the gentleman that Erika Kirk is there in attendance with. Or the little girl can be the daughter of Tyler Boyer. Well, that would mean that Tyler Boyer deliberately lied because Tyler Boyer said that he met Erika Kirk at this event. So why would your daughter be up there with you, with Erika, and not standing down below with you? So either he's lying or this little girl is either with Erika or with that gentleman, or she's with both of them. That's something we need an answer to. Surprise, surprise, Erika Kirk has been caught in more lies. We're seeing videos of Erika Kirk in parties around the time when she claimed that she wasn't going out and she wasn't dating, she wasn't drinking. So now let's add that to the list. It says here, this further proves my theory about Erika Kirk's classic gold digger bouncing from rich celeb to celeb, seducing quasi-famous dudes for the upgrade. Her dating history shows here Tyler Strange from the country band Emerson Drive. I don't know if she actually dated the guy, but this is someone that they're listing. But what they do say that I agree with was that it was a very intimate scene, ziplining in Vegas, calling her baby, full-on romantic vibes. I 100% agree. Somebody named Josh Harrelson, which was a pro NBA basketball player, Kentucky star, played for the Knicks and the Heat. Somebody named Joseph Tyler Massey, a former professional baseball player. Somebody named Jordan Vero from Summer House reality TV star, the Bravo Double Dates. You know, the video that we covered some months ago where she was clearly drinking in the reality TV show, which also proves that she's an actress because all of that is obviously acting. Cabot Phillips, Mr. Pizza Lip guy himself, who works for the Daily Wire of all people. Now, I guess, allegedly works for Turning Point USA. I don't know if that's a fact, with their pictures of them having painting dates. And obviously, there's another one of a guy by the name of Derek Chelsvik or something to that effect. She claims she didn't date for 5 years before Charlie in 2018. Straight lies. Well, there's something else that I want to show you all. I said at the beginning of this video that the truth may be something that many of us have been saying from the get-go. But of course, just human nature, we always want new information. But maybe if we took a step back and analyze some other people and their very weird behavior that day, maybe we'll get closer to the answer, such as the possibility that once again, as I've been saying for weeks, that this all was staged. Let's start with Mr. Camera Guy himself. We've already covered the security guard members and their hand signals and their arm movements right before everything took place. We've covered the Caucasian, looked like she's probably about 22 years old, 23 years old, with the MAGA hat, and how she never looked at Charlie when everything took place. She just calmly turned around and walked away. And when we paused the screen, it almost appeared as if she was smirking. Well, I want to show you all something else with this person right here. Pay attention to the camera guy here. Okay, somebody got to explain that to me. How is it that something pops off, you don't flinch, you don't duck, you don't run for cover, you're not confused, you're not trying to figure out what happened, but instead, this is what you do. Boom and bam. The person standing right beside him is extremely calm. They both move in the same direction. He turns his camera around just to get it. Why would you be doing that? Aren't you confused? Look at this. It's like a movie scene, bro. But it don't stop there. I've spoken about this girl many times because I've seen almost no one speak about her. But do you all remember the African-American girl that I spoke about that was back there by the Wagoneers? Well, take a look at what this right here. So you have the guy, Terry Farnsworth, who we're about to speak about here in just a moment. He's turned around speaking to her. Well, they're speaking to each other right here about something. One could even argue about something important. Well, here's another still image of her at the very back, which we're about to watch that video here in a moment, right? And here's a closer up. So when they're carrying Charlie to the ride, right? You see her at the very back. Well, let me show you all the video that I covered. We probably covered this, like maybe 2 weeks after everything happened, maybe a week after everything happened. And we were like, what in the world is going on here? Nobody does that. Like Terry Farnsworth runs to the back, stands by the walkway, starts filming. And of course, we've since seen the video footage of him saying to himself, oh, wow, they unalived Charlie. Like, who is they? Who are they? And how do you know that he passed away? It just happened. Like, it just, that doesn't make sense. But to make matters even worse, let me show you all what she did. This was her. Boom. So let's roll this back. So we see her standing there filming. Notice what she does here. Just watch. She doesn't turn to Charlie. She's still facing forward as if she's been assigned to film in a particular direction. She doesn't turn to Charlie. She still hasn't checked on Charlie. She's still not looking at Charlie. She's still not looking at the security team, which, by the way, let's go ahead and point out multiple weird things about this. So once again, there's no red liquid leaking anywhere. Somebody got to explain that to me. It's not leaking anywhere. As we remember, before Nate went with whichever direction he went, Nate met with AJ, and this is what Nate had to say.
I've not treated a human being that's been shot, okay? Those of us that have know is everywhere, Alex. It is, I don't want to say the F word, everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It'd have been over everybody's hands. It would have been over all of their shirts, pants, especially an artery shot like that. It's not possible that just no one has any on there, even their hands. So to me, what I want to know now is, you know why I was very suspicious about why we're not getting this high fidelity camera footage from right behind Charlie Kirk. And now I want to know, show me that footage. Because that footage is going to show me exactly what you're doing to treating Charlie Kirk. And I think, again, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. Alex, I think, I've been on your show enough times that you would agree. I'm very level-headed with this stuff. Tell me why, Turning Point, no one treated Charlie Kirk.
I 100% agree with him. And he's the expert here. Why is there not even a little bit leaking anywhere, y'all? We don't see it. And then just as the African-American girl is standing here, some white girl starts running by her and covers her mouth as if almost to say, okay, that's enough. Follow me. Let's go. Watch this. Let's go. And she calmly walks off. What? Somebody got to explain that to me. Those of you out there that believe that Charlie actually was pow, fine. Explain this behavior to me. Oh, they were all in on it. All of them. Every last person was in on it. I can believe that 4 or 5 of the older people were. You want me to believe that the younger people, everybody was in on it? 25 people were in on it? Which brings me to this photo right here of Charlie Kirk. Candace Owens shared this yesterday, and as she's been saying, there's no red liquid anywhere on Charlie, which some people are arguing that is proof that Charlie Kirk was never pow with a gun, but instead Charlie Kirk was hit by the microphone, was electrocuted by the microphone that he was holding, and or it was probably the Rode mic that was attached to his shirt. Yes, that is possible. I'm not saying that it's not possible. In fact, the marks here that are on Charlie's hands, I totally understand why people think that. Even when you ask ChatGPT or AI, it tells you that it doesn't look like red liquid. It looks like some sort of burn marks. It looks like some sort of smudge marks, maybe even ink marks that could come from a microphone. Even when you look at the position of Charlie's neck here, yes, it totally looks like the man could have possibly truly been hit. I'm not saying that. But I also want to know if this image has been altered, if it has been photoshopped in any sort of manner. I also want you all to take a look at this video right here. This is, a lot of people have been saying Terry was only concerned with one camera. No, he actually took the SD card, or appeared to take the SD card or something out of another camera that was like directly in front of Charlie, which is very weird. Now, I don't believe he touched the cameras that maybe fell down to the ground off to the side of Charlie, which is very odd, but he did, just to be fair, take an SD card or something out of another camera as well. Why would you be doing that? What is the purpose of doing this? I would also like to reveal something else. I don't know if many of you all know this, but as far as the Fort Huachuca angle, did you all know that Erika Kirk actually worked for her mom? A lot of people know what her mom did as far as the company that she owned. But not only that, did you all know that Erika Kirk actually worked at her mother's military contract company, E3 Tech Group, that literally has ties to the Fort Huachuca E3 EMP testing facility? But now I have another weird question. How is it, has no one found this suspicious? If you're Erika Kirk, you come from a very wealthy family. No one can dispute that. A family with a military background. You've been fairly successful, Miss USA, Miss Arizona. You had your own company out of Romania, and you even worked for your mom's company. Why would you be applying for TPUSA? Not that it's a bad thing to apply for TPUSA, but why would a wealthy person or a fairly successful person be applying for Charlie Kirk's organization? But here's some pushback as far as those of you that are defending Charlie. Who says in a job interview, you know what, I'm not going to hire you, instead I want to date you? That's what he said multiple times, that this is how the story went. That doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense, people. So now we have camera people behaving weirdly. We got security teams behaving weirdly. We have Mikey McCoy doesn't flinch, doesn't duck, doesn't look for anybody else, turns around. You got the security team doing whatever they were doing behind the table. They never look for another shooter. They never look for another threat. Why would everybody seem to be on the same accord? Why would it almost appear as if it was a rehearsal? Why? Why is the security team, who's supposedly helping Charlie behind the table, no one's ever speaking to each other? No one ever talks. They're just handing things and pointing and what? All of them are wearing sunglasses. Erika Kirk's behavior has been weird. A lot of people don't believe she's been grieving. And you want me to believe that it's not a possibility that all of this was staged? Because we just so happen to agree with Candace's investigation? No, we can agree with what Candace is doing, which I do wholeheartedly, but I also entertain the possibility that Charlie Kirk could be in on this. Please don't insult my intelligence by telling me to just ignore all the red flags here.
We have the number 47. 4 plus 7 is 11. There are 3 of them. 11, 11, 11, which adds to 33. What does the number 33 actually represent? Jesus dies at the age 33. Then he is resurrected. The Kabbalah tree has 10 circles, 22 little pathways, and 1 hidden circle, Dat, which adds to 33. And this is a blueprint of how pure consciousness filters down and creates the material physical world. You can use this to go from physical consciousness back up to pure spiritual consciousness. And it's associated with the death of the ego and then reborn spiritually as we ascend our consciousness up the tree. A Freemason is reborn again at the degree of 33, because at the 33rd degree, their ego has now died and they have resurrected into spiritual awakening. Number 33 represents death and resurrection. Charlie was shot dead, and he will resurrect into the spirit realm. 4 plus 7 is 11, and 11 is another Masonic number. These two pillars create the number 11. These two pillars represents the inside world of consciousness and the external world of consciousness. The sun on the top represents what you can see, the material body, the physical world. Moon on top is the nighttime, represents what you cannot see, the internal world, thoughts, emotions, and the forces of consciousness. There's so much more that goes into this, but they speak to you in a subconscious language called symbolism. When humanity learns to read symbolism, a great veil will be removed from the eyes of men.
But always, man, y'all up in the comment section, let me know what you think. These are just my thoughts. I have another video I'm going to try to get out later today that have absolutely nothing to do with this. Because again, there are other things happening in the world I really want to talk about on this channel. So I'm going to try to have a video out later today. And I'm going to try to have a Patreon video out later today, if not by tomorrow. So for my Patreon members, stay tuned for that. Link is in the description to the Patreon. Link is in the description also to the merch store. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.